So we're going to talk about what it is that makes the neck hurt when you're coming up in your crunchy or you're coming up in your 100, and we hear it all the time. My neck hurts, my neck is tight, then you have to put your head down, or you have to do the good old one hand behind the head situation. But there is reason for why your neck is tight. There is reason for why it hurts. So to look at it incorrectly at first, Eliza, can you curve up the wrong way? So now she's got shoulders coming up into her neck, so she no longer even has a neck. So that is one issue that creates a lot of neck tension. Roll yourself back down. The next issue that causes a lot of neck tension is when you feel like the front of your throat is what lifts you up. And then, well, you can't even breathe. There's just nothing you can do there, right? But then you hear the teacher say that wonderful thing. Pull your chin to your chest, pull your abs up, skew, and come on up. Now she does that pretty well because she knows what she's doing. But say you're at home and you hear that and you think to yourself, what? So we have an exercise called the towel. And you could use a towel, which you have in your house, but we don't have any here right now. We have a TheraBand. So she's going to take the TheraBand, show all directions, and you put it underneath your head, and a little bit underneath the base of your skull. Don't get it stuck on your earrings. And then you're going to put your head back down on the mat. Right? Now, you're going to actually use your arms and use your hands and give a pull on the towel, a pull on the TheraBand. And as you curve up, you're using that arm work underneath of you to connect to your lats and all your rotator muscles, allowing it to feel like this is what holds you up out of the mat. And if there's an up, there's a down. The down is the together in the ribs. Now, as she rolls back down, she doesn't just open and splay her ribs. She reaches the head back away from. And then right there, don't let your elbows collapse because you know you're going to do another one, right? Right? So she comes up. Yes, there is a pivot to look down, i.e. chin to chest. Really, it's a pivot. Your chin should never actually touch your chest. Yeah, because see, then you can't even breathe. You can't do anything there. Focus stays down towards the belly button. And I'm going to ask you to lift those elbows up in space a little bit more while you drop those shoulder blades down. There you go. And then she's trying to work the ab work to get her to come up any higher. When she rolls back down, she's not going to let go of that work in her arms. She's not going to let go of a feeling of engagement in the upper abs. So I'm not going to say pull her ribs together because, well, she's not curved here. As she comes up, yes, pull your ribs together because you're curving. There you go. And then as she rolls back down, she lengthens without splaying the ribs. So now if she curves up, she can then challenge it by saying if I didn't have the band, she could just let go and bring her arms down by her side. And she's pumping her arms in her 100. The focus is still the same. The arm work underneath is still lifted, coming down around into her upper abs. Good. Her focus is around, but there is still space between the chin and the chest. It's more so that the chest is dropping away from the chin. And then rolling yourself back down, she wants to keep that reach feeling through her arms. Now that is the beginning of your 100 that shows up in so many other exercises, like your roll-up. Go ahead and stretch your legs out real quick. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. And just imagine a much bigger band behind you across the back of your head. And as she curves up, there's her 100 curve. There's that moment where the band was holding her. Good. And she comes all the way up and reaches out and over. And yes, she bent her knees on the way up. She's fighting those hip flexors. That's a different video. She's going to roll back down. On the way down, she's got to look for that same hammock feeling that I say, now get that chin off your chest. Remember the back of those arms. There she goes. Much better. And that's the challenge place. It's the same exercise, right? Which is the same exercise as your rolling like a ball. Roll up one more time. Come up into your rolling like a ball exercise. Because in this shape, she's sitting. But this is still the same work of her 100 curve. So as she rolls back and the hips go up, the 100 curve pulls her back up over and around. And yeah, it's a fight. See? It's hard. There you go. And you just got to breathe. Inhale back and exhale forward. Last one. Rock back and exhale forward. And enough of that. So that upper body curve has to come because, one, sit up straight for a minute, there's length. But at the same time, when you go to chin to the chest, chest away from chin, there is bend across the base of the ribs. That is why the front of the ribs can come together. Without flexibility in the erector spinae all the way from the base of the ribs to the top of the head, getting the neck to articulate properly, stacking back up, is really, really, really tough. So if she's lying down in this position, it's going to be really hard. Curving over, one more time. This is your spine stretch forward. Modified, you know, her legs should be apart. Yes, yes, yes. But it's looking for that bend across here. That is the same thing, roll down, that you hit in your 100 curve. Reach out through those arms. And a little bit lower down, one more vertebra. That's the same work. And roll back down. So when addressing tension in the neck, you have to ask yourself, am I really bending and working those erector muscles in the back so that they can reach and elongate around? And am I pulling together in the front of the body enough so that I can counter the weight that's tight and stuck on the mat? And I hope that helps. Yay!